Okay, welcome back to Ron's Garage. I ran into a guy at a junkyard on Friday, this is Sunday morning, who has a garage slant warehouse slant yard full of cars and warehouse full of parts. I think everybody remembers I need, an alternator and brackets and all that stuff. And there was a misalignment in the pulleys. This is the water pump pulley that's on it. It's looking like I might have to pull the radiator to get that off. It's that close. But there was a misalignment between that and the balancer pulley. So what we did was we rummaged around his warehouse and we picked up a few things. Got a couple brackets, what we think are the right alternator brackets, a couple pulleys, a balancer pulley and a water pump pulley. While we were there, he had a bunch of older stuff laying around. I got a couple of mirrors that may not be correct for the car, but they're about period correct. I got an old alternator. I think it's not any good. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the fan blade does have a little bend in it. And I mean, it doesn't make a lot of noise, and that may be the fan blade. I don't even know if it works, but I wanted it just for mock-up, if nothing else. And he had a box full of gauges and stuff, so these are all, junk gauges. They're not brand name or anything, but he says they should all work. So, but he threw those in. But I got an oil pressure, temperature, and ammeter gauge, and a tack. Probably temporary gauges. They're all mismatched, which kind of might be cool for the rat rod kind of scene, but we'll see. Like I said, I just wanted them for indicators for now, before I do anything permanent. So, but I'm going to try to see if I can figure out that alternator bracket and pulleys. It doesn't seem to want to match up any place. He said that the whole top hole here is supposed to go here, and that sticks that alternator bracket way up in the air, and I'm not sure if that's right or not. The bottom bolt does not match up to the water pump in any way, so he thinks that goes onto the alternator itself. Maybe he's right. The bottom bracket looks like it should go on that head hole in the head right there. So I'm going to try to see if I can match this up a little bit and see where the pulleys all line up. I may be SOL, and if I am, I'll give him a call back and see if we can find something else. He's a really nice guy. Works part-time, I guess, at the junkyard, and then has his own place too. So we'll see. So let me see if I can turn a wrench here and get something to match up. I'll be back. Alright, this is not working out so well. I've got the lower bracket on back there. I think that's the hole it goes in. I've got a bolt going through the alternator, but that spins. I'm not sure I can make it do it one-handed, but you can see that moves, which is okay, I guess, depending on how it's mounted. But what worries me is that positive lead on the alternator is really close to the valve cover, and it's down instead of up. Maybe I've got this thing upside down. I guess it's possible. Maybe I'll have to try it again, but I can get it the way it is. I can get it to line up with the brackets, but then the alternator pulley's way far forward. And I don't even think the pulleys I got are going to fix that. But again, I got to figure out how to mount the alternator, and then I can go from there. So and I'm sure there's somebody watching this going, "Hey dummy, that's not how it goes," which is great, because if I don't figure it out, I sure could use one of those "hey dummy" moments. So please feel free, but let me give it another whirl. See you in a minute. So yeah, the The alternator was upside down. That was my dummy of the moment mistake, but it won't mount on this bracket the other way, because where the tab comes down is about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch forward of this, forward of this tab here. So the tab on the alternator has a space way out to here, maybe even an inch. Now I could spacer that out, yeah, but I don't think it's supposed to be that way. So I definitely have the wrong bracket set up for this motor. I mean, I can, go to Summit Racing and get, the aftermarket brackets, I guess, which I may have to do, but we will see. I'm not necessarily done playing around with it. There may be just something I'm missing. And I know that doesn't go the other way with this tab closer, because then it just would be even farther from fitting. And I don't know, maybe it's possible that the alternator is supposed to be on this end of this. Didn't try that, but I could. See what that does. Nah, that can't be, because that bottom tab is threaded. So there's no way that can go, no way the bottom tab can go here, because it's threaded, and it would have to go into the block here. So on this setup, this pair of brackets, it's supposed to be on here. And then with the top one, I put it up on a higher one, and that doesn't seem bad, and it almost looks like it would match. Well, no, it wouldn't. It's still way off. I don't know if you can see the alignment there, but that tab would have to be a lot closer to the flange, the adjusting flange up here. So that's not the case. If that would work, I could even, I guess, move this bracket to the thermostat housing, and that would get it a lot closer. But that still doesn't make up for this not matching up. And the alternator hits the valve cover if I try to put this tab flush onto it. So, and even adjusting it, as far around as it can go, it'll still hit the valve cover. So I don't think that's right. Of course, this would be a lot easier if I didn't have this car a foot up on the ground on jack stands, but have to do some more, have to get my design and engineering chair out and see what I can come up with here. I'm not married to these, brackets. I did pay for them, and I'm sure he would either give me my money back or come up with something better for me. I'm not worried about that, but we'll have to see. So see you in a while. Okay, well, the water pump pulley I got from my guy is definitely wrong. It's way too deep. I know it'll hit the water pump, or at least the plugs on the water pump, if I put it on there. So I suspect that's the right pump pulley for a short water pump. I may, though, have gotten lucky with the balancer pulley. Just some quick measurements, and it looks like if I put that on there, those belt grooves will line up with the water pump pulley. Now I just got to figure out the alternator. I suspect that those brackets are wrong for this engine or this application. Maybe they're made for the wrong water pump or something. I don't know. So back to the drawing board there. But I cleaned up the balancer pulley and let that dry, and I'll maybe shoot that with some paint. The alternator seems to be right. The bend in the fan doesn't seem to be affecting anything at all. So maybe I'll get lucky with the alternator. The mirrors are for sure going to be okay. Let me show you what these mount here. So these have this bracket like on here, and they just kind of slide over the door lip. Shit, I didn't even show you. They just slide over the door lip here. Wherever you're going to put them, you just set it there for now. And once it's screwed down, it'll stay straight. And I'll probably not have them here. I just put it here so it would stay there while I shut the door with one hand. But I'll probably put those down here. Get one over here, one on the other side. So it looks like those are going to be just fine. So side mirrors, check. He said he may also have some door handles. I need the driver's side door handle over here. He had one driver's side door handle anyway that he found quickly, but it wasn't a match for this. It's got the Chevrolet, the striations here, so there is that. And he's probably got a bunch of other stuff laying around over there. It's just a matter of finding it, and I'm sure I'll be seeing him again to get a few more things. I was going to go ahead and swap that balancer pulley, but to do that I need to take the radiator out, which I need to do anyway. Down there where I work is a radiator shop. I stopped by there the other day, and he said he would look at the radiator and see if it's sized right or cored right for this motor. It's kind of small. It's about, maybe, well, I'll tell you, it's pretty square. But I'll get my finger out of the way in a minute. It's about 18 inches wide and about 19 or 20 inches tall. And I think it's single core. I really can't tell for sure. It's got, I don't know if you can see down in there very well, but it's got 2 rows. That may mean double core. I'm not sure about radiators, how that works. So I will have to just pop this out and take it down there to him. I'm not quite sure that 9-inch fan is going to be enough for this. But again, I don't know cooling systems that well and how they work. Well, I know how they work, but you know what I mean. I don't know how the math on the radiator. So I think I'm pretty much done with this alternator pulley thing for today until I take the radiator out. I've got other stuff to do. I'm still working on the ignition wiring, the ignition switch wiring, and I was kind of hoping to have the alternator in place so I could go ahead and figure that wiring out too, but I don't yet, but I will. If he has to record this radiator, that's my only way to do it. Then I may go ahead and have him see if he can put some transmission lines in it. Right now it doesn't have them. We've got an automatic transmission. Those cooling lines are just looped. So alternate method number A would be just to put a transmission cooler back on the frame, back underneath the cab somewhere. So that's an option. Fairly inexpensive option. I figure $50 for a barrel type cooler. So, and that should be sufficient. I mean, I'm not going to be driving this hundreds of miles, so at a time. But anyway, so that's where I stand, and we'll see how things go. So thanks for watching. I'll post again as soon as I do something good. Bye.